Favorite thing?
Deshaun Tucker is working to leave behind decisions he made while living in Baltimore.
I used to rob people.
For the past 2 years, he has been a resident at Our House, a job training center and group home for young men that's been in Brookville, Maryland for the past 20 years.
But the idea, that's what it stayed with me for years and years.
Our House was started by Richard Bienvenu, who began his career as a special education teacher in Arlington County to young men like Deshaun.
They got different plants here, like tomato plants.
Many of whom came from difficult circumstances like abusive homes and foster care.
And it just hit me, wow, you could really do something with these guys if you took them out of their environment and put them in a residential setting.
You get to learn new stuff that you never knew about. Like, you learn about different vegetables.
Bienvenu, or Benny, started his program at Camp Bennett in Brookville for 1 year, then moved to an old hospital in Ellicott City where it stayed for 8 years. In 2000, Our House moved to its current location in Brookville, which was once home to the Melwood Treatment Center. The property is situated on 140 acres where the 16 residents, or trainees as Benny calls them, are up by 6:30 to begin work every day.
We're serving kids from all over the state and some from D.C., kids who are at risk of getting in trouble or falling through the cracks, or foster care, or have no families whatsoever.
After being referred by the state, the young men go through a tough interview process before they are admitted to the program. From there, they start to rebuild their lives, literally. Benny and his staff teach the young men skills in carpentry, landscaping, and farming.
We come put them in here. Sometimes they like to run, like you see, like they go up there by themselves sometimes.
To name a few, and along every step of the way, hammering home the importance of good manners and politeness.
How you doing, Mr. Mott?
How you doing?
How you doing, sir?
What is it that you see in these young men that makes you think that what you're doing can help them?
They need help. If we don't do it, unfortunately, not many people are going to do that. You can see inside that they're crying for a second chance. And so many guys inside of them, they're burning up. They're on fire because of what's happened to them when they're younger, the neglect, the abuse and such. It's brought tears to my eyes a lot of times, even my wife's eyes a lot of times. But it's a heck of a job. It's a big mission.
School is also part of the day for the trainees. The young men are in class 6 days a week for 2 hours, and if they stick with the program, they will leave Our House with a high school diploma.
So many of them, they just don't believe you. I wouldn't trust adults either if I'd gone through what too many of them have gone through. But after a number of weeks and months and such, they see that we do have a staff that really care about them, and we do hold them accountable, and we do make them feel special on special days, birthdays and holidays and things. So most of them, you can see them turning around, understanding that, hey, I am a valuable person, I am worthwhile, and I can contribute to society.
There have been close to 400 young men who have gone through the program at Our House, which typically runs 1 to 2 years. Deshaun is preparing to move into his own apartment in Rockville. He has a job and is preparing to take the exam to receive his high school diploma.
Was it tough?
Yeah, it was real tough. Like, at the end of the day, you're so tired. And
Tell me how you felt at the end of the day after you'd accomplished so much.
you feel good about yourself knowing that you accomplished everything.
Is it hard?
Benny says it's all about breaking the cycle and giving these young men the chance to be something.
So this is the kind of thing you want to do with your carpentry skills that you've gotten here.
Yes, somewhat.
Our House has had more successes than failures, and for Benny, seeing the growth and self-esteem of the trainees is gratifying. When he speaks of their successes, he lights up.
I think one of my favorite ones, a guy graduated, I think he was 18-ish, maybe 19, and he got a job, and he actually hired some of our kids who had graduated. And then he got into buying houses, redoing those. And now he called me last fall and says, you know, Benny, my wife and I, we've done pretty well, and I think I'd like to come and teach for y'all for a year. What a wonderful thing.
There is a new dormitory under construction on the property. When it's finished, it will house 24 young men. Montgomery County is a supporter of Our House and the work it is doing to help at-risk youth, with grant money included in the budget for the past several years.
In many ways, it actually saves Montgomery County funds, because if someone is not
incarcerated, if someone is not under the watchful eye of the government every second of the day, then that saves society and it saves us actually dollars and cents.
It really is important for us to make sure that we have programs like this that give these young people workforce training, but also housing, give them that stability to get to the next level when it comes to really focusing on continuing on with their career pathways.
And Benny's work has not gone unnoticed. He received the Washingtonian of the Year award in 2014, and last year CNN named him one of its heroes. Richard Bienvenu is getting ready to retire, and as he reflects on his career, he knows in his heart he has been able to help these young men move from being caught up in the system to being productive members of society.
In the 23 years that we've been open, Susan and I have had 40-some different groups and individuals come from as far as Minnesota and New Orleans to come up and see how we do this program. And I think with our success rate and some of the acknowledgments and recognitions we've gotten, the word has really spread.
I ran a program in Pennsylvania.
Aaron Collins will be stepping in for Benny. He gave up a pro football career to devote his life to rebuilding these teenage boys. He says there are plenty of issues that they arrive with, but with the right tools, nothing is too challenging to overcome.
The contact with young men is the key. I mean, so many times programs will have somebody during the day, they send them home, and maybe home isn't the best environment for them to be nurtured and to grow and develop. And the thing about this program is not only is it a 24-hour-a-day program, but it also brings the job training skills. It brings a lot. It brings staff that have been committed and served in this program for 14, 15 years. So the kids have that consistency. They know when they come into work every day, so-and-so is going to be here to ride their back and to love them and to challenge them to be the best they can be.
I'm gonna catch me a fish.
And for Deshaun Tucker, he has hopes of becoming an actor someday.
Not biting today?
No.
But for now, he will leave our house with a clean slate and a new outlook on life.
I actually changed a lot. Like, I'm really not the same person I used to be. You can go so far by learning new things. And I learned that here.
So you might have found your niche here by doing that, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome.